and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to review Evil Dead Rise, the 5th installment in the long-running Evil Dead franchise. Are you excited?
Sure.
Okay, look, before we get into it, we do movie and TV reviews on this channel, entertainment news. So if you like that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button, and also
Like the video.
like the video like she said, and then comment down below if you saw Evil Dead Rise. This movie came out back in April, so I'm sure most everybody's seen this movie by now. I would think. I do think it's coming on HBO Max this weekend, though.
It is.
On Friday, so if you haven't seen it, you can watch it on there. We watched it on 4K. So yeah, leave us your thoughts on the movie, or if you're going to check the movie out in the comments section below, and then turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. So let's go ahead and get into it. Evil Dead Rise. I don't feel like you were looking forward to this one that much.
No, I wasn't. I thought that the trailer looked very generic. Yeah. It looked like an exorcism movie. Just like one of those like random generic. They've made like a million of them. It just looked like one of those to me.
Yeah, they were very popular in like the 2000s. I wasn't really into that era, like the Exorcism of Emily Rose and stuff like that.
So I wasn't really looking forward to this one, but I know that you were. So
I was. Look, say what you will about the Evil Dead franchise, it's pretty consistent. I think that all of them are good to great. I really enjoy all of them. I love the remake in 2013, or the requel, or whatever you want to call it. I know some people argue whether it's a sequel or a remake, but I really enjoyed that one a lot. I remember we watched it, and I don't know, that movie just hit me like a ton of bricks when I watched it. I was like, this is awesome. I just loved it. So I was looking forward to this. I mean, it's 10 years later since we've gotten the last Evil Dead movie. So,
yeah.
And of course the Bruce Campbell ones are classic for sure. So my expectations were pretty high, but also I was kind of trying to temper them a little bit. So
yeah. I mean, I don't really have any history with this franchise. Yeah. So, that didn't help that, I wasn't really too excited to see this.
Yeah.
These type of movies aren't really my thing anyway. I don't typically like gravitate towards these type of movies. I feel like I kind of watch them just for you, really. Yeah. I might have been a little curious to see it, but I wasn't expecting a lot. And, it definitely was what I thought it was going to be.
So you didn't enjoy this one, is what you're saying?
It's not that I won't say that I hated it, even though while we were watching it probably seemed like I did.
I'll say this, it's difficult sometimes to watch movies with you, because I feel like if you really don't like something, like I could think it's okay and like be enjoying it.
Yeah.
But by the time I get done with it, I'm like, was that really just a piece of crap that I watched, because of your commentary throughout? So sometimes you kind of bring me down a little bit, so to speak, when we're watching stuff.
Definitely, I feel like when you're watching a movie, it does depend on your mood. Like, your mood can totally influence how I think you feel about the movie, at least for me. And so, I don't know, maybe I wasn't like in the right mood to watch this movie or something. We did watch it at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I wasn't like too tired. I feel like I was awake enough to...
Yeah, it wasn't that I was tired. It's just not really how I want to start my day.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie... I don't know. There were so many things about it that just really annoyed the shit out of me.
The characters aren't the best in this one. And that's what I think that Fede Alvarez, who directed the last one, did well with the last movie. Is I actually cared about and was interested in the characters. I loved Jane Levy's Mia, the character of Mia in those movies. I thought she was great. I didn't feel that attachment to anybody in this movie.
Right, yeah. I felt like, pretty much all of the characters were very annoying.
Yeah.
And
this is the first Evil Dead that really brought in kids also.
Yeah. And I had heard some people say that they didn't, feel like the kids were annoying, but oh my God, I definitely did. And, everybody was, it's pretty typical in a horror movie to make bad decisions. You kind of have to have a story. Yeah. But there were just so many things that were happening, and I'm just like, this is so stupid.
I mean, it's an Evil Dead movie, so somebody's got to find the Book of the Dead. Somebody's got to read from the Book of the Dead.
And so,
to have the story.
I'm glad you brought up the Book of the Dead, because when I see that book, all I can think of is like Hocus Pocus, and
And you hate Hocus
I
Pocus.
hate Hocus Pocus, and I know that Evil Dead has been around for longer than Hocus Pocus,
It has.
but like does it always have teeth, like on the
I
side?
look, I
You're
I
not
really
sure?
like the Evil Dead movies. I'm a fan, but I'm not like a super fan. So I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the teeth are new. I do not remember the teeth being in any other Evil Dead movie, but there are like I believe there's supposed to be 3 books of the Dead.
Okay.
And we saw the original one in the last 4 movies. This is the first time we're getting a new book, so
Yeah, I mean
that's the mythology.
there was only one book in this story.
Yeah.
And this one is set in an apartment.
Yeah, which I guess we can get into the story a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. It's this family. It's a mom and her 3 kids, and then her
Yep.
sister comes to visit, and it's set in an apartment high-rise
And
complex.
it's like a very low income apartment.
Yeah.
Apartment building, so it's very
It's like almost condemned. It's getting ready to be tore down.
right. It's it's definitely got the creep factor going on. I think it's probably in a bad part of town.
Yeah.
So it's kind of secluded, and so that kind
So
of
it's similar to, I guess, A Cabin in the Woods,
Mm-hmm.
which all the other movies took place in A Cabin in the Woods. It's the first one that takes place in a different location, except for Army of the Dead. That's kind of a different animal, kind of a different thing.
Another thing that kind of bothered me was most of all those, big scenes, I guess like scary scenes or whatever, most of them were in the trailers. So I feel like I had kind of seen a lot of stuff already.
That's just the problem. It's why I try not to watch trailers anymore, because you're right. Like I feel like every big scene in this movie, except for maybe a couple of things that they didn't put in the trailer.
Not everything, yeah, but
Yeah, there's a few people that get possessed that you don't see in the trailer, so I didn't see that coming, so that was kind of a surprise. But yeah, most of the big moments that you've seen in the trailer, most of like the iconic shots you've seen in the trailers.
I know that you said that Evil Dead's kind of known for being kind of more like comical.
Yeah, there's definitely. I don't think that this one's supposed to be comedic necessarily,
Yeah.
or the last one. But you do get those little moments here and there. It's over the top. It's exaggerated. Like
Yeah.
when people are throwing up projectile vomiting across the room, like it's exaggerated. So
Yeah,
it's supposed to be that way.
I just can't get on board with it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that this was okay. I probably would have enjoyed it just a little bit more if I was
Without
watching
me.
it by myself. But it's still, at the end of the day, I think this is easily the least, my least favorite Evil Dead movie.
Okay.
And I'd say by a pretty wide margin, because I really like all the other ones, and I think that this one's, it's average. It's average. It's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they really just set the bar with the last one, 2013. Like, it was so violent, so gory. And it feels like with this one, they tried to do the same stuff again, but it just didn't quite hit in the same way. And it's like, I don't know how you top what they did before. And so it's like, why even bother? So I didn't think that the change of setting was necessarily inspired at all. I just thought it was it felt like the same kind of movie, and it just really didn't do enough different for me. I never felt any creep factor. I never felt any tension. I never felt any of the scares at all.
Right, that's what I was
I
gonna
just
say.
didn't care.
It wasn't even all this stuff. Even though all this stuff was happening, I wasn't scared.
Yeah, I wasn't affected. Like, I enjoyed some of the visuals I was seeing. I thought it was a decent movie overall, but I was never really like affected by this movie. I was never scared. I never felt any tension, any atmosphere. It just the movie was just kind of there for me when I was watching it. So
Yeah, for sure. So
I don't know. I don't think there's too much. I'd say this, like, if you go into this, you don't have too many expectations. You like a good, fun, gory, bloody time. You'll probably get some enjoyment out of this. I do think that the third act is probably the best of this movie.
well, I was gonna say the only thing that kind of saved it for me was how they opened it and how they tied
Yeah,
the opening
that was interesting.
in with this story. So because there's something, it opens up with this scene and you're like, throughout you're kind of like, how is that opening scene going to tie into this movie? And so I liked how they did that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, oh, okay, like that was a nice little surprise. So I did enjoy that part of it.
And the movie made money, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it, so there's probably going to be another one for sure.
Gotcha. Well, of course, but
So, but hopefully they make the next one better. But what would you give this as a score?
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
I will give it slightly better. I'll give it a 3.5 out of a 5. I
Okay.
thought it was decent. It was fine. I feel like maybe I'll enjoy it more if I watch it later, but it's not one that I'm going to run back to for sure. There's definitely
Yeah.
a lot better ones in this franchise. So appreciate you guys watching our review of Evil Dead Rise. Again, let us know what you think of the movie in the comment section below. If you watch it, if you haven't watched it, if you're going to watch it, soon when it comes out on physical media or on HBO Max. Let us know in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then follow us on our social media accounts down below in the description. We'll see you next time.